Good morning. I was on strike for a few days because the last video I made was called Death to All Infidels. And in it I described Charles Manson as a virtuous man. And there was no way, I was obstructed in every way I tried to post that video. That video was not going up. But I just can't let go. I just cannot let it go. I just can't. I just can't. Because I'm surrounded by such hypocrisy. I just can't let go. I just can't. So I tried to post in a Facebook group called Serious Philosophy. Now I looked in loads of philosophy groups, but the philosophy now, you see, we tend to overcompensate. So we've now gone from philosophy being to overcomplicated and extremely esoteric to it now being reduced to memes. Now I argued this before about memes, and it was pointed out to me that memes are the new art. Memes are an art form, and this is philosophy and art, and that people don't have the capacity to think, so they have to be conditioned using memes, sort of like the illiterate people that used to follow the church, like the stained glass windows used to be the poor man's Bible. But it's people are so stupid, and I can't use any other word. There's no point in sugarcoating it. People are so fucking stupid that they have to be indoctrinated using memes. They have to be, you have to use memes, which subliminally conditions people without them even knowing. They don't even have to think. They're just being conditioned through memes. And we can take these memes in whatever direction we want, but people are now being conditioned using memes, and seen as humour is the fastest way to the subconscious. As long as you make it funny, you can indoctrinate them in any way you want. But the church were on this a long time ago, as I say, conditioned with pictures and images to create concepts. But now that we can add humour into it, we're brought to a whole new level using memes. So every philosophy group I have now, it's gone from being it overcompensated for the stupidity of the people. It's now reduced. All philosophy is out the window, and it's now being reduced to memes. But I suppose that is philosophy, like. But sure, then again, like, it's my choice. But I don't usually use these groups. But in one group called Serious Philosophy, I posted, can people understand how Charles Manson is a virtuous man? And my post was declined on the grounds that it's hate speech. Now I just said to myself, this is fucking ridiculous. This is absolutely fucking ridiculous, and this is exactly what the point I'm trying to make. We have a new movie out glorifying Oppenheim, and how the fuck is that not hate speech? If I want to say in a philosophy group that Charles Manson is a virtuous individual, and it's declined on the grounds of being hate speech, how the fuck is a movie glorifying Oppenheim, a man that made a bomb that blew up two fucking cities? Two cities. Not hate speech. Like, surely it's hate speech to the Japanese. That's straight up to the Japanese. That's what that is. If it's not hate speech, I can't figure this out at all. But this basically is, put your head up my arse and we'll do what we like, and we'll impose our morality on everybody, unless it's as long as it goes against our agenda. If it goes against our agenda, all fucking morals are out the fucking window. So I'm going to persist in explaining why Charles Manson was a virtuous man, and how we have this double standard thing going on all day. But first of all, let me give you a few simple, for the stupid people, let me give you a few simple philosophical quotes. First of all, as Carl Jung said, in order to understand the darkness in others, look for the darkness. You have to understand the darkness in yourself first. Now, all these things apply individually and collectively. We won't even get into the collective nature of the soul and the soul of the city. But this is so. That's the first thing I'm going to say. The second thing is, the universe shows us ourselves in others. It gives us a chance, because we're so busy looking outwards and not looking inwards, that it gives us a chance to see ourselves in others. But what you see in others, look for in yourself first. This is Marcus Aurelius. What you see in others, look for in yourself first. And then if you find it wrong, for example, in the case of Charles Manson, if you think it's completely abhorrent, absolutely deplorable behaviour and completely unacceptable, don't fucking do it. If it's not right, don't do it. It's that simple. If it's not right, don't do it. But, but, but there's no point passing judgment on him and saying he's this, he's a scumbag, he's evil, he's an evil, horrible scumbag bastard. If collectively you do the same thing yourselves. So let's look at examples of this and why Charles Manson's a virtuous man. Because somebody, in order for the universe to show you yourself and others, somebody has to play this role. There can be no dragon slayer if there is no dragon. Somebody has to play this role. Somebody has to play the role and show them themselves. So, for example, Charles Manson was first of all accused of being a cult leader. The Pope is a cult leader. And then so is the Ayatollah, a cult leader. And the President is a cult leader. These are cults. Now, the Pope in 1094 offered absolution to all the cult members to engage in the holy war. In other words, thou shalt not kill and love thy neighbour went straight out the fucking window when it came to expanding your territory and invading other lands and taking market share and converting people to their belief system. These two major tenets, thou shalt not kill and love thy neighbour, went out the fucking window. In other words, a cult leader encouraged them in the name of God to go and commit all sorts of atrocities. How that's any different to Manson, I cannot figure out. Manson didn't kill anybody. He didn't kill anybody. And the thing is, how I can't understand how people aren't responsible for their own actions. People are responsible for what, if Manson's a thought, they're responsible for whatever thoughts they cling to and act upon. And that includes external and internal. But everybody is responsible for their own actions. I can't see how you hold somebody else accountable. As my mother used to say, if somebody tells you to jump off the garage roof, will you do it? Now you say no. For obvious fucking reasons. Yes, that's the consequences. And you say, no, that'd be a stupid thing to do. That'd be a stupid thing to do. I'd break both legs. But anyhow, the next thing Manson was accused of, taking teenagers off the street and brainwashing them in so that they go and commit atrocities. Now, as I said in the last video, the state do this. The state do this. So here we had representatives of the state accusing Manson of all sorts, taking kids off the street and brainwashing them, you scumbag, you fucking scumbag. The state do this. They brought kids in off the street, brainwashed them in a certain regard and sent them off to kill the yellow man. It's the very same fucking thing. The very same thing. Meanwhile, they did Pontius Pilate on it. They washed their hands. We didn't kill anybody. But they're baby killers. They're the baby killers. They're the baby killers. We don't even want them back in our society. These baby killers. We don't even want them back in our society. Vagrants and well, yeah, baby killers. After brainwashing them in this regard, patriotism and nationalism and every other bullshit cult brainwashing thing that goes on. Now, get to all infidels. Is this not another cult? And we don't even have to go back too far where there was infidels killed in France. There was infidels killed in France. And if Manson's responsible for his cult leaders, how are the cult leaders not responsible for these infidels being killed? It's actually. So this is what I'm saying. The universe gives us an opportunity to look at ourselves, but of course, no, we don't want to look at ourselves. We don't want to face our own soul, individually or collectively. But we'll very easily pass judgment on everybody else. But why I say Manson was virtuous is Manson just played his role. He did what he was created to do. We're all created to do something, and he did so regardless of the consequences. As he said to the FBI agent in the jail, no, I'm free. You're not free. You're trapped by the state. You're trapped by the state. You're trapped by material possessions, the trappings of life. You're trapped by the perceptions of others. You're absolutely not free. I'm free. My mind is free. I'm free. Now, most people won't understand this, but this is, if you read Jean-Paul Sartre, but Manson was deeply philosophical in a lot of everything he said. He was looking beyond good and evil. There is no right, there is no wrong, and nobody really dies, and nobody's born, and nobody dies. But this is deep philosophy, deep philosophy. But everybody else is just judging them from a stupid, superficial perspective that they don't apply to themselves. I may look at this and see. I may go, no, I have a few minutes. I have a few minutes. And that's why I say Manson was a virtuous, the same way as Alexander was virtuous. They have a role to play, and to do this role. But beyond this, in order to fulfill this role, they have to look beyond good and evil. Nietzsche wrote a book about this, but the big problem with Nietzsche was he wasn't able to look beyond good and evil to fulfill his own role. There had to be an intervention. And they were going to kill Manson. Yeah, that's today's video on why Charles Manson is a virtuous individual. Good luck.